another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm not, okay, now it'll be. Hello. Just got back from the pharmacy where everything was paid for because my insurance is finally working. My appointment still pending. Let's find out. Yep, still pending. See, I don't know if it covers therapy yet, so I'm waiting for them to verify my insurance. They did. Look at that. Ooh. I mean, they could not find one. They had what's that thing they used to check the babies? They had to use that to find a vein. Yeah. It's a little infected too. They poked me there, tried there, they poked me there, they poked me there. This is why I'm not an intravenous drug user. Ugh. Man. Yeah. Am I wearing enough trudging together gear today? I need to get beanies too. That'll come back again someday. I'm making some changes to the company. Even the website's going to change. The URL is changing it. TradingTogether.com was doing all right, but it's not doing what it needs to do. So it is what it is. And TradingTogether.com, all the stuff that's going with it, it's all screwed up. So I don't. It's just like, So we're here to talk about no regrets. I'm going to give it just a little bit longer. We'll go ahead and get started. So I will tell you that in order to have no regrets, you must settle the past first. So, all right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching live or rewatch. All right. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. For some reason, I got a bad feeling in my gut for a second. That happened. Does that happen to people every now and again? I mean, it's going away already, but it's just sometimes it feels like the other shoe's going to drop. It doesn't feel quite that way. I don't know. Maybe just moments of indecision or doubt, So, all right. When someone says no regrets, they mean they're content with the choices they've made in life and wouldn't change anything about their past. Okay. So, because I know, huh? Whew. It's kind of a big thing. Was it? Arg. I think what I need to do is just take the permission away from everything and then redo it. I seem to have to do that like every 3 months because it messes up the chat. People will be watching another video and they'll chat and it'll appear here, things like that. And it should be following its own DNS or whatever packets, whatever it's supposed to, right? So it's hit or miss, huh? That's funny. That's funny. It's all right. It's like, I'm going to give you permission to listen to Dion. Go ahead. Amber, you weren't quite here yet, but it actually, I don't even think TrudgingTogether.com is up anymore. I think it is done. Yep, it is gone. I messed up earlier. Because I'm switching from one host to another. These guys are building my website. They're called the free website guys. It's very basic because mine look like crap. And so I was going in to make some changes and I accidentally removed the domain. And so I got a hold of Wix and they don't know what they're doing. And for a couple months, I've been thinking about just switching it, getting rid of trudgingtogether.com and switching it to trudgingtogether.org. So I just took this as a simple way to do it because then I can get my Dion at trudgingtogether.org email back. So the website is down, right? Not many people are really utilizing it anyway. They might be, but it'd be good if it was back up until then. Maybe I can put something up that'll redirect. Anyway, so I'm going to repeat this. When someone says no regrets, they mean they're content with the choices they have made in life and wouldn't change anything about their past. Now, remember at the beginning of this, I said that there's going to be something that needs to happen first in order for us alcoholics to reach a no regrets type of thing. Okay? We're going to have to settle the past. Okay? You cannot have a no regret situation without settling the past. Okay? But how can we get to this? How can we get to this? Okay? Well, the question would be, do you like who you are today? And if you answer yes, there you go. You got it. Because everything that has happened to you in the past has made you who you are today. Everything. There's nothing off the table on that. Okay? Including all the horrible things you may have done. I did some pretty bad things to people. Right? But I went and changed those so that I didn't have any regret, guilt, shame around it anymore. Right? You know, a lot of that, I know I had a lot of shame around my family. And that was the one that I really had to get to a no regrets to. You know, is it all the way there? I'd like to say yes. But I don't think that it is. Hence therapy, right? But the man that raised me, I've said everything to him that I've needed to say. Okay. There are a lot of things I would like to say, but that's much different from what needs to be said. Yeah, you bet. I'd love to smack him upside his fucking head, beat him with a belt, show him how it feels. Part of me that wants that, yeah. Am I going to access it? No. No, I'm not. So I've said everything that I've needed to say to him. If he was to pass away tomorrow, I would have no regrets. And that's where it is. We kind of got to think on this. Now, I'm not trying to be morbid, okay? But we alcoholics have got to get to a point of no regret because otherwise it's going to be very hard for us to move forward with our life. And we need to do that, not just for us, but for the people around us that we affected, right? Signifying a sense of acceptance and peace with their experiences, even the difficult ones. Essentially, they are saying they live life without looking back and wishing they had done things differently. Yeah. Like you ever see those questions like, would you rather have $1 million or go back in time? You know, I wouldn't, you know, or what would you say to your 18-year-old self in 2 words? You know, mine would be good luck. I didn't say anything because I like who I am today. I might even go as far as say I love who I am today. Am I the best version of Dion that I could ever be? No. Am I the best version that Dion could be today? Yes. Right? You know, when my kids took me to go get my meds, they had some time. Oh, nice of them. It's not often I have to ask my children for a ride. I kept thinking, they're like, no problem, you know, and it gives them, you know, hey, dad needs us, you know, kind of a cool thing. But there's this lady, so I'm staying in line because mine were done. she's at the front of the line and somebody called somebody's name and she thought it was her. And the lady that called the name was not very rude at all. But because the lady got confused and felt stupid in front of everybody, she blamed it on that person. Right? So she was available next. And so the lady's like, hey, I didn't like her attitude, so go ahead. And then he was done. And then I was next. He's like, yeah, go ahead. Okay, thanks. You know, if you want to shoot yourself in the foot, I mean, just because, but I understand. I get it. I've been in a place where I hated the world. See, that's what's great about us alcoholics. I can understand the angry person and the person being polite. I understand it both. All right. So, when we're out and about, even though people might be rude or mean or cut you off and things like that, we got to keep that patience tolerance, man. I'll keep it. All right. Key points about no regrets. Positive connotation. It often implies a proactive approach to life, embracing risks and experiences without dwelling on what could have been. Gosh, that sounds like the program. You want to know why? Because that's cognitive behavioral therapy, the CBT, which is the 12 steps also. Okay. It was based off cognitive behavioral therapy, some religious things. It's what it's kind of based off of, right? But I like this that they say it's a proactive approach. Now, what are alcoholics by nature? We're reactive. And yes, I'm saying we. You're like, you need to use I statements. I'm like, we're alcoholic. It's a we thing. This is a we program. And we all go through it all. We all go through this stuff. Right? Unless you don't want to be part of we. Right? Right? Embracing risks. Yeah. Yo, leisure, man. Oh, holidays must be over. There's leisure. Good to see you, dude. I hope you had a good holiday, dude. Not necessarily perfect. No regrets doesn't mean everything is always ideal, but rather that one has learned from their choices and is comfortable with the outcomes. So for us, outcomes is consequences. That's what we tend to talk about here. Outcome is the consequence. Okay. And we get to a point in the program where we plan the plan, but we don't plan the result. Yeah. And even then, the plan is probably going to go awry anyway. Something's going to happen. Okay. And what are we going to do that? Are we going to go with the flow and be proactive and figure out what's going to be the next best thing for that? I mean, and it could be a birthday party, it could be a celebration. Maybe it was plans for a vacation. It's quite often I go to get something and it's not there. So I have to settle for something else or something like that, right? It's just, you can, like earlier, when I literally lost trudgingtogether.com, you know what I did? I laughed. Oh well, right? That would be trudgingtogether.org. That's okay. Something tells me there's a very, very, very good reason for it. See, I don't doubt God. I made a human mistake, but did I? I don't know. All right. Can be interpreted differently. While some may see it as a positive mindset, others may view it as a sign of not taking responsibility for past actions or not being open to self-reflection. Now, what I say at the very beginning of this, that in order to have no regrets, we must settle the past first. Got it. Can't just blow off the past. Oh, I don't have any regrets. Fuck them. No, that's not no regrets. That is indifference. That's indifference, and it ain't gonna work. It won't work. We call it the fuck it's. Hey, fuck them. And we'll do it in recovery too. You bet. well, I don't need to make an amends. And she'll redo it. No, 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 no. Okay. And then they die. Oh man, I should have taken care of that while they were here. You can't have that in your life. Can't have that. Okay. Some of these things are hard, are very hard. Yes, very much, Leisure. It's the fourth and fifth step. 4, 5, and 9. Settle your past, man. Because when you bring justice to them, okay, what's the difference between, because, and I don't want to get on a forgiveness trip here, because I think we kind of have, I think people tend to look at forgiveness a little wrong, because I'm not God, and I cannot forgive you for your derelictions. I might be able to forgive you what you've done to me, but really that's more of an acceptance. Forgiveness for what? What is there? What? Now, let's say I forgive you, but what are you really getting out of that? Is it buying your way into heaven? Is it going to give you a better life? See, I can't really provide that. And that's why the principle behind step 9 is justice. Okay. What is justice? Well, let's say you have a warrant out for your arrest and you go turn yourself in. That's justice. If you did something wrong and you are going to confront it and take care of it, become a better person because of it, that is justice. Hey, I changed because I did something bad to you and I don't want it to happen again. That's justice. Okay. Justice comes with change already done. Already done. So for us, this interpretation, okay, it just means, take care of what you need to be taken care of, right? All right. Let's see what else. What is the meaning of no regrets? No regrets means that you are happy with the past and don't feel sorry about the way anything turned out. See? It's just, having no regrets would mean always picking the safe choice and doing things we know we're 100% capable of. No, that's not it. Not for me. Right. So it would mean always picking the safe choice. We do not do that. In fact, you're going to have a lot of choices in your life. There's going to be a lot of them. And one's going to be bright and shiny with neon lights, and there's going to be people and conviviality. And the other one's going to be low down, dirty, and you're going to have to walk through the mud. You're going to have to clomp through fucking quicksand, but we do it together. Take the down and dirty, my friends. There's so much more there. That road that is less traveled has more to it. Because that other one is being consumed. Okay? One's evil, one's good. One's evil and one's good. When someone says no regrets. Now, no regrets does not necessarily mean that somebody is better than someone else because we tend to get that in the program. I've heard it a lot. It's happened to me. Would you get sober? Please get sober. Please get sober. Oh, and then I get sober. Oh, you're too good for me now, huh? It's like there's always something that I'm just doing wrong in their eyes. And they can't get past the point of any grace or acceptance of who I am. Yeah. When the scapegoat, the black sheep in the family, starts to heal, okay, now black sheep or a scapegoat would not be the mother or father. It would be one of the children. Okay? I was the scapegoat. I was the black sheep. Okay. In fact, when we were doing Christmas, my brother was sitting next to me. Something came up, and Scott was acting like he was covering for me, my older brother. I'm like, oh, you're taking the heat this time, are you? For all the times I took heat for you. I thought it was a joke. He started shaking. So I stopped. I didn't say any more than that. because I was trying to have fun. See, I've settled with that. I've settled with those regrets. I knew when I knew I was taking blame for my brother on some things, and I kept my fucking mouth shut. Yeah. Was it the right thing to do? No. But when the black sheep or hi, Michelle, or the scapegoat gets sober and starts to get better, and the rest of the family stays where they're at, this person may not be invited anymore because now they have no one to pick on. They have no one to point the finger at. Okay. And if you're around, then you're going to be able to be there to defend yourself. And they'll say things like water wagon. Oh, you on the water wagon? You still on that? You still doing those AA classes? That's what I love. Oh, I love these classes. It's a meeting. Don't act like it's school. I'm going to get out of here. I hated school. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Mr. Leisure. I'm grateful for my regrets. Yeah, you've accepted them. You brought them into, we're one of the only people that really get to take our past and turn it into gold and save other people's lives. We're really one of the only set of people that get to do that. Yeah. In my deepest heart of hearts, I believe I was chosen. I believe you were chosen. I believe that anybody who is an alcoholic has been chosen to help change the world. Why is that? Look at all the arduous stuff you have been through. Now, my family doesn't do that because my mom been in the program 40 years. So my family's like it was my grandson's birthday this last year. And I went into the room. I'm like, well, it's 3:00. And everybody was like, okay, have a good meeting. But there are still some people, like the man that raised me. Soon as my mom got sober, he divorced her. And I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming because I saw her growing and I saw him just getting more and more angry. What I saw. And I saw how mad he got at her for getting sober. Man, he didn't like it when I confronted him I was on pass. From Mount Airy Psychiatric Center the first time they kind of put me away, locked me up, whatever you want to call it. I'm a child of the system from 14 on. It's about 4 years. But and we were driving back and they'd already told us that they were getting divorced. And so this was like a couple weeks later, and I was asking them, I said, so why are you divorcing my mom? Right? Is it because you can't control her anymore because she's not drinking? Is that what drives you crazy? And he got so fucking mad. I was 14. Right? But I've been watching for years. I knew they were going to get divorced. And when they announced it, I told them I was happy. I'm like, I'm happy about it. You two are miserable together. You don't belong together. Can I go back to my friend Michael's now? And because of that one meeting, my older brother still will not have a family. You won't have family meetings. You won't get together and discuss and do these other things. And he's got a master's degree. I think he might have his PhD in psychology. I don't know. I don't think it's that far. Okay. Works for he's done a lot of what his work does is service work. He is the hero, but he is still spiritually sick. He will not talk about that stuff. And that's up to him. Not required, right? Now, how did I settle that? Because he didn't want a ninth step. He flat out said, Dion, I'm not doing your ninth step. I won't do it. He knew what I was talking about. I hadn't even asked. He just told me. I'm like, okay. So how did I settle it? EMDR therapy. I settled it there. I discussed it with my therapist and did some EMDR. God, I hope I get to see my therapist again. My stuff finally kicked back in. My Medicaid, it's still pending. I just want to know that it's set, because last time my insurance was like this. Well, see, the ER was covered, my meds were covered. I don't see any reason why I won't. But, yeah, see, they got me good. They got me good. Ouch. Like, and they always ask you, what amount of pain are you in from 1 to 10? And I'm like, I don't want any fucking Oxycontin. I don't like that one, because it's hard for me to describe what level of pain I'm in, because I'm used to being in pain. So what might be a 3, 4 for some other people is like a 1 for me. Okay. So it's kind of hard to figure out what my pain level is and be honest about it at the same time. It's difficult for an alcoholic. So clearing away the wreckage of our past, I think, and we've got to get to a point where we love ourselves. Because if you love who you are right now, then that means everything that came before made you who you are. And that is a no regrets, right? Let's ask another question. What are the benefits to having no regrets? I always get so burpy. Blah, blah, blah. We don't need to hear you speaking. I can do it. Thanks. Okay. Here we go. So, living a life with no regrets can benefit you by allowing you to accept your past decisions, learn from your mistakes, focus on the present, embrace change, foster a positive mindset, and ultimately experience greater peace of mind by not dwelling on what could have been. Day at a time. Day at a time. Essentially, it encourages personal growth by letting go of negative emotions tied to past choices and taking responsibility for your actions, right? I know we're doing a lot of repeating here, but I've noticed that when I repeat a different way, that more people get more, if that makes sense. So what are the benefits of positive outlook? We're proactive. Instead, people are like, your glass is always half empty. I'm like, I ain't even got a fucking glass. What are you talking about? Now my cup spilleth over, man. It isn't half full. No, it's usually overflowing, because there's so much love in my life. There's people moving forward in my life. When you're in a home group, and the group itself is growing, oh man, big things happen when that happens. I love being a part of it. I've got a pretty good home group right now. I get used to a couple people, but I'm sure the whole group had to get used to me too, right? Yeah. And we give each other shit quite often. I call it my old cranky man meeting. My old cranky people meeting. I'm probably one of the youngest ones there, right? But it is a lot of people with long-term sobriety that talk the way that I'm used to. Yeah. And I love it. I love it. So a positive outlook, acceptance of the past, recognizing you cannot change the past, allows you to move forward without being burdened by past mistakes. That's why I would, if I had the chance to go back and change anything, the answer would be no. No, I would not. Oh, you wouldn't go back and then you'd be rich today. First of all, timelines don't work like that. Okay, so how that works. So no, it wouldn't happen. You just create another timeline. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's a bunch of Hollywood stuff. Right? So we can't be burdened by them anymore. Burden for us just leads to resentment, right? Learning from my mistakes, viewing past decisions as a learning opportunity enables you to make better choices. This is the 5th step, right? One of my sponsees who's on, or I'm sorry, one of the closed mouth friends, because I'm trying to get rid of sponsee. I don't like it. Right. He's like, I'm doing a lot of repeating. And I said, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's like, oh, it was insanity. Yeah. See? And what is that? That's progress. Recognizing that is progress. But he was getting frustrated. He's like, am I just stupid? I'm like, no, that's not it. Maybe you're a little too intelligent. Maybe we need to simplify this a little bit more for us, right? All right. Reduce stress and anxiety. A little bit more joy in your life, some hope. People around you that are like, man, you got a week? That's fucking awesome. You know, there's nothing better when you go to a meeting and somebody says, I only have 7 days. And the rest of the meeting's like, what? Like, because 7 days, 30 days is longer than 8 years in this program. And we all understand that. We all get it. I don't have to say any more than that. And then they go, oh, fuck. They really do care about me. They're like, no, that was the hardest part. You bet. You bet. That's why a lot of people, I know for me, if I went back out, there is no coming back. It's done. I don't, So I'm not going to go into that. Improve decision making. You make better decisions already. And what is that? Well, you're not reacting to life. You're not reacting to it anymore. Life gets a little rough, the seas get a little rough, and you change your sails a little bit. Go with the flow, right? Understand that I may not get what it is that I want. And for us now, it's like, okay. Okay. What do you do about it? Well, there's not anything I can do about it. So guess we're going to go with this. You know, how we talk to people, what we say to people improves. Absolutely. Embracing change. We do it. Oh, yes, we do. We embrace it, don't we? Bet. It's like getting a new puppy. Yes, it's exciting. Seeing, there's nothing like when somebody's like, did you know grass is green? Right? Yeah, I remember when that happened to me. I remember that. All right. We're gonna do a couple more and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. Living in the present moment, focusing on the current situation rather than being consumed by past regrets. So, right? So, and what are those? Those are resentments for us. And so consumed by past regrets. Well, if somebody, let's say I'm talking to somebody and I haven't fulfilled what I needed to get to the no regrets, I'm not quite there, am I? I'm not quite living in the present moment because my brain is thinking about what happened before. Maybe they did something to me and I haven't let this go yet. Okay. Have you forgiven people that have not given you an apology? Because you should. There's a lot of people I think owe me an amends. See how that whole sentence is just no good? It's not very good, is it? It's an expectation, right? Aside, forgiveness happens in the 5th step. All forgiveness happens in the 5th step. Who's the first? And really, who's the person that's being forgiven? Well, it's you. You're the one that's doing the work. And we are asking God for his forgiveness so that we may move on with our lives. So unless we can forgive ourselves, we can't forgive other people. You cannot transmit something you don't have. And if you do not love yourself, you can't love others. Not the way that we need to, anyway. I'm not saying you won't feel love and things like that, but the love that we alcoholics need, which is unconditional love, right? Increase self-compassion, forgiving yourself. I didn't read forward. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes allows you to move forward with a more positive self-image. And last one, taking risks, not being afraid to pursue new opportunities without the fear of potential regrets. Well, it failed last time. Why would it work now? Well, you're a different person now. All right. That went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. So, but when people show up and Scott hasn't been here for a minute, so I thought I'd hang out and spend some time with him. So I do that stuff. I know we're not really hanging out, spending time, but you know, we take what we can get sometimes, right? All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out.